Hello ladies and gents, it's Spoony Pizzas here with another Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 video, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to build the best formation and tactic for your team. I'm going to be also covering off so many questions that I always get asked. So I'm always asked, what's better, possession or long ball, wide containment against middle containment, counter attack or possession, all out defend against frontline pressure? I get asked all these questions like which is better, and the answer is it really depends on the strength of your team and weaknesses of your opponent, and that's the basis for every strategy, regardless of whether it's football strategy or warfare strategy. You analyze your strengths of your team, you play to your strengths, but you also try to exploit the weaknesses of your opposition. Step one is to know your opponent and know your opponent's team. So if you're not familiar, then I suggest you get up to speed pretty quick. So you need to know that Mohamed Salah and Mane are very quick. Mohamed Salah is very, very tricky on the ball. So you've always got to be careful of him, just to keep a reminder. Roberto Firmino's got very good close control. He's got very good ball control. Not the best shooting stats, but still, he's still a threat. So what am I doing? I'm basically looking at their formation, and immediately I know what the counter formation is for that. And if you don't know or haven't seen my other video, I will leave a link in the description for the sort of counter formations to every formation. I mean, that's a good basis, but I wouldn't say always revert to that, because different teams have different strengths. Okay, so we're seeing here that Man United can easily play 4-3-3, which is a better formation against the 4-5-1. And the reason for this is because you put your two centre backs to man mark their striker, leaves them really isolated, and the rest of your team pushes up the field and basically pins them back. And they're basically the only option they can do is, unless they're really good at keeping the ball and cycling the ball around and moving upfield very slowly, then they're going to turn it over quite a lot, and you're going to find yourself in a very dominant position. Okay, so you can see here I've gone for a possession game, short pass, wide attacking area. The idea of this is to stretch it out, because obviously they've got three central midfield players, so that's going to be very tight and compact. So I've sort of matched that up with the three there, with Mata, Pogba and Matic, so that sort of gives it an even balance. But then with Martial and Sanchez pushing on, that's really going to force them back, and that just leaves Roberto Firmino up on his own, and he's going to be very isolated, and they're going to try to play long balls. It's only natural, because you'll be pushing on them so much they wouldn't have time to like pass the ball as such. So yeah, and that's why I've gone for a sort of a frontline pressure, middle containment and aggressive pressuring. So yeah, you got, like I say, you got to look at the look at your opponent. What can you do with your team? What's your strength of your team? So the strength of Man United is actually the strength stats. Funnily enough, so you got big, powerful midfielders in there. I've added Mata in there just to add a little bit of control. He's very good on the ball. Got good dribbling skills, nice tight control, good at passing. So he and Pogba will be the sort of creators. Matic and Pogba can also break up play nicely. That's why I went for a central midfield role, so he trucks back a little bit deeper. And then you got Martial and Sanchez on the wings to really give the weakness of Liverpool. You can see there that Arnold is only a 75 and Robertson's only a 75. So they've also got some stats that aren't up to scratch. So you might be able to exploit that and really attack them and go at them. Obviously the defenders are quite tall. You have got Lukaku there, so he is going to offer quite a physical presence. But basically what you want to do is just say, look, okay, let's get the ball to Sanchez, Martial, get down the wings, and then hopefully with Lukaku's attacking prowess, he might be able to pull off a marker, create a little bit of space. You might be able to score off a drilled cross or maybe even a cross. So yeah, so you can see what I've done there. I've not gone oh, you know, possession and short pass and wide attacking area is the best, because that's cobblers. Every opponent, every tactic has a countermeasure, and yeah, so that's Manchester United, for example. So let me just cover off a couple more, and then you get like an idea and a feel for what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing. Next up is Chelsea, and I'm up against Manchester City. So they're playing 4-3-3, and I know the killer formation for 4-3-3 is actually 4-4-2. So what you can see here is I've gone for actually two combative midfielders, Bakayoko and Kante, because I am outnumbered in midfield in that central area. That sort of their sort of ball winning powers are fantastic. So that's going to give me a real edge over David Silva, who's quite lightweight, Kevin De Bruyne, who's probably the danger man, and Fernandinho is very underrated. So just keep an eye on him. He's got quite a good shot on him as well from range. And as for the defense, I did actually swap out Rudiger for brought Rudiger in for Gary Cahill. Reason for that is because Gary Cahill hasn't got the best speed. I think it's about 70, whereas Rudiger is about 77, I think. So yeah, I brought him in, and the reason for that is because obviously you got three very, very quick forward players: Sane, Aguero, and Sterling. Aguero is absolutely lethal. You've got to keep your eye on him all the time. One of the weaknesses with the Chelsea centre backs is they'll find it very difficult to keep a hold of Aguero. So you just need to be aware of that sort of long pass, because he will get in. What I recommend is using Super Cancel just to bring your defender back, and always track their runs. Always, okay. So in this one, I've gone for a possession style again. Short pass, wide attacking area. The reason for the wide attacking area is to get down the wings again, because that central trio is very, very narrow. So it's going to offer your sort of left wing and right wing to sort of double up, especially down the right hand side where Williams and SS. So he might drift out to the wide to support Moses. And what you're going to find is their left back Fabian Delph is going to be very exposed, and being only 71. He's not the quickest, and you're going to overrun them on the wings, and that's exactly where you want to go. So that's why I've gone for the wide attacking area. I've gone for maintain formation. I want everyone to stay where they are. Very, very happy with the how that would play out. As for the defensive style, I've gone for all out defense. Reason for this is because they're not the tallest front three, so I'm happy for them to sort of just cross balls into the box, because I'd expect Rudiger and David Luiz and even Marcos Alonso is actually quite tall, so I'd expect them to be able to clear the ball quite easily. And I've obviously gone for conservative pressuring. Middle containment area, purely because of the central three. I want Bakayoko and Kante to break him up in the midfield, and then use the wings of Hazard and Moses to really overpower them. I've gone for a lot of hard workers: Moses, Kante, Bakayoko. Got plenty of stamina. They can run up and down the wings. Could even put wing backs on to double up, but I don't think it's needed against 4-3-3. So yeah, and that's the so hopefully you get an idea of what I'm looking at and the things I'm seeing on the pitch, and just trying to exploit their weaknesses. I went for Alvaro Morata over Giroud because Otamendi and John Stones are quite good in the air. They might have trouble dealing with Giroud, but I bring one later in the game to mix things up maybe later on. But Alvaro Morata's movement is one of my favourite players actually in PES in that striker role, because he's so elusive. So definitely I'd always go for start with Alvaro Morata, with Willian just on that SS role, just so he floats around and causes disruption along their back line. So there we go. That's Chelsea and Manchester City, and let's move on to the next team. Next up is Barcelona. Okay, so you can see there they've gone for a 4-4-2 with a diamond midfield, and that will make it very, very congested in the middle. So basically I've gone for 4-5-1, And the reason for this is you want to sort of contest that middle area. Now, with the 4, they are going to have the advantage numerically, and the 2 up front are going to be very, very dangerous, so you have to keep an eye on those. But when you get the ball, you've got a massive advantage down the wings. You could play with attacking fullbacks, and this would help you double up on their fullbacks, Marcelo and Daniel Carvajal. And yeah, so and one of the advantage with Barcelona, they've got fantastic ball control. So even though you've only got 3 in midfield, I wouldn't be afraid to like do nice tight passing in between Casemiro, Cruz, Modric, and Isco. They're not the best ball winners, Cruz, Modric, and Isco either. So the only sort of battling midfielder is Casemiro. So when you get near him, he might be able to tackle you, but when Messi's got the ball, it's very difficult for anyone to win the ball off him. So that's what's going to give you that sort of advantage. And then, like I say, just use the wings, use that ball control, that nice tight ball control. So you can see here I've gone for a possession game, short pass, because I'm very confident in my sort of ability to play through the middle if I have to. Gone for the wide attacking area just to make sure the wide players stay wide, giving you plenty of width, because that's where you're going to have a lot of space, and you're going to find yourself 1 against 1 or 2 against 1 on their fullbacks. And then you've got obviously Suarez up front, Messi, with the flexible positioning there, allows, if I was to pass it to Coutinho, Messi might drift out to that wide area as well. So again, it's adding more numbers onto the wide area, especially with the attacking area being wide. So you're really, really overloading on the wings, and you're giving them a lot of problems. And that's the best way to exploit the 4-4-2 diamond. As for defensive style, so I've gone for frontline pressure, middle and aggressive. The reason for this is because you want to try and pin them back again, push high up the field, because and the reason for this is you don't want them to sort of cruise to get the ball and have about 6 yards between you and your player where you can sort of look up and pick a pass. You want to be straight in at them. Don't give them any time to sort of play a long pass, and that's why I've gone for the aggressive style. You could go for the more defensive style, but Ronaldo and Bale are quite good in the air, and I won't fancy the chances of Umtiti and PK trying to stop Ronaldo leaping. So that's why I prefer to be a bit more aggressive and play on the front foot and stop them before they get near your goal. Next up, by far one of the most powerful teams online especially, is Aventis. They've got the absolute beast defense. They got some of the best wingers. They got one of the best strikers. Their midfielder are combative, and that's really, really hard to play against online, especially. So yeah, that's I do like to play like 3-5-2 with these, or 5-3-2, or 5-2-3 even. Any of those formations work really well for Aventis. But I can see here that I'm coming up against Paris Saint-Germain, who are playing 4-3-3. And I know, once again, like I said, that killer formation is 4-4-2. I actually watched a YouTuber the other day. He did get a win. He's quite popular. I won't mention any names. But if it wasn't for the poor finishing of his opponent, he could have got, severely hammered. So, and I was surprised that, obviously, maybe he's not seen my channel or whatever, I don't know. But I've always said 4-4-2 is the 4-3-3 killer formation. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and watch my Italy-Croatia match. I played that game, and it was co-op, and we played 4-3-3 against 4-3-3. We were Croatia, they were Italy. We were losing 3-1, and I said to my mate, I even said on the mic, I even called it out, I said, look, 4-4-2 is the killer formation for 4-3-3. Changed it to 4-4-2. We came back, won 4-3. I rest my case. Every time I see it, I watch people play 4-3-4 against 4-4-2 and with 4-4-2 against 4-3-3, and it's crazy that so many people haven't noticed it. So I digress. Let's get straight into it. So we've gone for 4-4-2. And like I said, gone for 2 really combative midfielders. loads of defensive prowess there with Matuidi and Marquisio. Their defense is fantastic, and the reason for that is that's why I've gone for sort of all-out defense, conservative and wide pressuring. So basically I'm more than happy for them to sort of stop let Neymar come inside and just run into the likes of Chiellini and Barzagli, and if Liechtensteiner and Alexandro tuck in, it's like a brick wall. They're just going to run into a brick wall, and then you can break from there. And again, use the wings of Cuadrado and Douglas Costa to attack. I've got Dybala in that SS role, so he's going to sort of float. As he's on that right hand side, he's going to sort of float from the middle to out to the right. You may see him out onto the left sometimes, but more so to the sort of central and right areas. If I was to bring him more central, he would drift left and right. But no, I'd be really happy with that, and he would double up on their left back, so that'd be Yuri once again, and you'll just overpower them on the wings again. And that's why I've gone for that wide attacking area, maintain formation again, so just keeping players where I want them to. I don't want anyone I don't want Marquisio coming across out onto the right wing or anything like that, anything crazy. Keep it nice and tight. It's a very safe formation. It's a nice spread of players with 4-4-2. It's one of my favourites, to be honest. But it's not something I would play. I tend to play 4-3-3 because I've got a formation that I find very dominant online. But yeah, if I was coming up against a good player and I was playing for real and playing seriously and was going to go for the win, I'd definitely go 4-4-2. And yeah, I hope that sort of gives you an idea of why I do things and why there is no perfect there's no perfect formation as such to win every single game. You're going to have to play well, but the formations will certainly help. If you get your formation right, it's definitely going to help you a lot. So hopefully this video is sort of giving you a bit of an idea of the things I think about when I'm playing the opposition. Don't just look at yourself and go, I'm going to play this way, and disregard what your opponent's doing. Don't forget that you can use the tight marking. If they use a fluid formation, you can use the tight marking to find out what formation they're playing. So you just go tight marking, and as soon as you select it, you may see their formation change. That formation is the formation they're going to play when they have the ball. So that's always a good trick to know. And that pretty much concludes the video, guys. I hope that sort of helps. And hopefully sort of dispels some of the questions about what's better, possession, counter-attack, long pass. I didn't show you any formations where I was going to play long pass, but say for instance I had Real Madrid and I wanted to use really cheesy spammy tactics, then I go counter-attack, long ball, 4-3-3 against Barcelona maybe, unless they're playing 4-4-2. And then I'd choose a different formation to sort of counter that, but still use the same sort of method to really attack them, because you're not going to go head to head or toe to toe with Barcelona in a passing contest. So yeah, it's all about knowing what to use and looking at your strengths of your team. Have you got quick strikers? Are your team better at controlling the ball and controlling the play? You've got to trust in your ability, trust in your players, and yeah, like I said, just analyze the strengths of your team, analyze the weaknesses of their team, and try to exploit it and know where you're going to attack and how you're going to attack, and play that way. Don't just get caught up in the game and lost and just trying to spam through balls or anything like that. Just have confidence in your ability. Keep passing the ball, and hopefully you'll overcome your opponent. Anyway, I hope this video helps, guys. Thanks for watching, and this is Spoony Pizzas, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers, guys, and have a great weekend. Bye bye.